For a while it was one of the only one in the Lowlands.
Yep.
One of the only one. One of the only one.
One of the only one.
One of the only ones.
There can only be one. Where's that from? Highlander.
You're laughing Highlander right now.
I've got so many quotes from that.
Hello, I'm Jen.
My name's Rachel.
Welcome to our channel. We are Whiskey Geeks.
Not whiskey snobs.
So if you like all things whiskey,
And you're not a snob,
subscribe! And we're back with another whiskey tasting today. You're just a way to grab them there. That's fine, grab away.
We're doing another oldies versus newbies.
Yeah. We've got a really newbie.
We do. You're telling
really
us about
quite
the
an
newbie,
oldie.
aren't you? So
Yeah.
I'll give you that bottle.
Cool. Yeah, so this is from the newer Glasgow distillery, but not the newest Glasgow distillery.
The newest Glasgow distillery is
Clydeside, I think. It was, that's the one that everybody thinks this one is, but this one is the one actually down in Hillington.
When did they... Do you remember when they opened?
I think it was around about 2014.
Because I feel like they were there and then all of a sudden they were... Do you know what I mean? No, they weren't there, sorry, and then all of a sudden they were...
They were there making Macker gin for a few years before they were making whiskey, because obviously the whiskey takes a wee while to mature.
Yeah. And Macker gin's nice as well.
It is, actually. I wasn't sure I was going to like it from the tasting notes, but I actually really loved it.
And then we're doing the oldie, which is kind of like hard just because there's not very many Lowland distilleries. So this is the oldie, which is technically a newbie as well because it's recently reopened. But this is old stock.
There for a long time
this
as well. Yeah.
Here. This has been there since like 1817. So that's a while.
Like 1817, like you didn't just read off the front of the bottle.
Did I not? Did I?
I thought you did.
No, I didn't. I read my notes. I was like 18. I was like 1817. Is that right? But it's.
I thought you just read it.
1817.
So that has been there for a very long time. That's one of the older ones. So.
That's your Glasgow.
Right.
That's your Bladnoch. Oh, you can smell that from the glass. That one particularly.
Hopefully it's from the glass.
It's because it's like further away from my nose. It's like oh. They smell very different.
They do.
Chalk and cheese, that. Quite literally, that
almost,
one
I was going to say that, almost literally. Yeah, it's light and effervescent and kind of chalky.
Yeah, see, very cereal notes, tangy cereal. And this
really,
one,
really high up.
This one is like much, not musty, but like old and...
soft and fruity, like old
rich.
Dried fruit.
Yes, rich, very rich. Oh, they smell delicious. That one's been triple distilled.
This one is, triple distilled. So, the theory behind triple distilling, is more common in Lowland distilleries. I think there's only one other that does it actually, is Auchentoshan. And their theory is that although it's not being casked at higher strength, it's being distilled, so they distill the first two lots just as a straight run, take all of it. Then the third lot is when they take off the heads, heart and tails. And so the heart is stronger than you normally would take it off the still. And then, but it's not casked at a higher strength. It's still watered down to usually the 63.5. But the theory is that the more other impurities that have come out, I think, in the still and in the distillation, it will better interact with the wood of the cask. So you get more woody characteristics.
Right, okay. That didn't smell too woody for me either. So they're not all triple distilled, it's just this bottling that's triple distilled.
Yeah, so normally they're just double distilling as far as I know, and it's this expression that's triple distilled.
I really love the smell of both of them, like contrasted
together,
really, that's
Do you know what that reminds me of? Having chocolate with your salt and vinegar crisps.
Oh, totally. I was going to say it reminds me of a wee bit of the cinema. Like
sweet and salty popcorn.
Sweet and salty popcorn and then the old seats.
I think they drew the bum deal there. Sweet and salty popcorn. Old seats.
Drop the bum deal. But like, yeah, like all the sweet, like the light, easy snacks and the old seats. Old fabric seats, like.
But it's soft. It's so soft.
Yeah, definitely.
Soft old seats.
Old seats are soft. They've been mashed down. Maybe we
I think
drink
they go really
one,
well together.
Yeah. We could try that at the end, combine them. I feel like we should do that with, yeah.
Should we try them? Slange.
Oh, no, I'm cheers and
Choosing the same one. Right?
Sorry. I didn't tell you what I was doing.
So juicy.
Like pear and passion fruit.
Light and juicy and floral.
I really like that. That was the best selling of their range and was one of the best selling whiskies at the Falkirk Whisky Social, I think. I did
I can
really
see
well.
why. That's so light but also full, like flavourful.
I so love both of these are non-age statements, and I still love we are moving away slightly from that obsession with that.
Oh, that's really nice.
Aye, cereally and floral and fruity.
Light but still full flavoured.
Yeah, not any kind of sherry leathery kind of flavours from it at all.
No.
Like light fruit.
Is it all in bourbon?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's all in bourbon, that one.
Oh, that smells so good.
That's so thick and soft.
And that one, so Bladnoch, called Queen of the Lowlands, it was referred to apparently, I think. So it's the only distillery for a while in the Lowlands. Now we've got much more distilleries in the Lowlands. We've got Daftmill and Lindores and Kingsbarns and Glasgow.
It's named after the original Glasgow distillery from 1770 in Dundas Street.
Oh, is it?
Dundas.
This
Dundas
one's
Street?
1817, but same.
So this one beats it, but it's not the original.
But it's not the original
Because it's
one.
now in Hillington, which is not really Glasgow. It's quite far west of Glasgow. Is it 7 miles west of Glasgow? On the south side of the
I
river.
don't know why I even pretended to think like that.
You looked like you were properly thinking. 7 miles
I did. I was
west.
like, do I know that? I was like, no, that's far too. I know city centre Glasgow. I know the West End. I know the south side.
Well, think of the south side and think of the West End and then go further.
Ah, that's beyond my ken.
It's beside IKEA.
Ah,
There you
IKEA. Bladnoch, they've got quite a cool kind of modern history, an unlikely modern history in that they were bought over in 2015 by David Pryor, who made his money in the yoghurt business. So he's an Australian yoghurt
Strange
tycoon.
one.
And this one here, so this means rebirth. So this is one of the first bottlings they came up with. Samsara.
I think out of all of their ones I've tried, all of their older ones and fancy ones, I've tried quite a few. This has always been the one I've gone back to. And I didn't know that's what it was called.
Rebirth in Sanskrit. Sanskrit. That's what it's called. So they do some aged whiskies. They've done a 10 and a 11 and a 17 and a 19, I think. And
I remember really enjoying the 17.
I think I remember trying them all.
All of the, but out of all
remember.
of them, I still prefer this is my
This one. So this one is 46.3, non-chill filtered, no colouring, all that good stuff. And they also use bourbon and ex-Californian wine casks, which is quite cool as well, like a wine finish. And the balls are just so like
decanter. It's more of a decanter, isn't
chunky.
it?
You could wash the label off that if you wanted once the whiskey was out and refill it. Oh, it's a big chunky boy, isn't it? I like it, very tactile. Quite nervous for pouring because it's quite
It's
you've got
heavy.
small hands, but
See, when I go back to that after having gone back to the Glasgow one, I find the Bladnoch a lot more grassy.
they're so different.
They're so different.
I haven't found the Glasgow much more grassy.
This one has like a thicker grassy, like a thicker grassy, fresh, like a
Oh, that one's like sweeties now.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That one's
That's like rainbow
sweeties.
drop. Which do you like best?
I find that really hard to decide from those two because they're both very different. I don't know.
Smell, I'm definitely on the Bladnoch. Taste, I find it hard to choose.
I find I really struggle to choose between those two. I really like them. I feel like before dinner, after dinner.
I think that's what you'd have to do. Yep.
Yeah.
That actually could work really well in a cocktail.
I was thinking that as well, like a highball or
I was going to say a highball.
What's the one with
Highball
lemon?
before dinner. A whiskey sour. Whiskey sour would be really good with that as well, actually. A highball with a herb garnish.
Like basil or something.
I was thinking rosemary.
Rosemary.
I think that the rosemary garnish would be a bit weird, but I think that would work really well. And then that just on its own after dinner. Yeah, old is just as good as new.
Definitely, 100%. Cool.
Yeah, join us again next time for another comparison. Flange. Cheers.
I'm going to do that again.
Oh. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed our video. If you did, please give it a like and a subscribe. And you can follow us on social media at The Grail Tastings. See you next time. Slange. Tangy. Minty.
Minty fresh.
Minty fresh. I feel like I've just brushed my teeth.
Neither of them were minty before.
No.
That's so strange, isn't it?